We're not taking a commercial break because we're traveling to Miami and still staying here in Antigua. And I'm welcoming Patrice Simon, the Executive Director of the Antigua and Barbuda Hotels and Tourism Association, and Vanessa Ledesma. She is in Miami, the Chief Executive Officer of Caribbean Hotels and Tourism and Association. And they're here to discuss the upcoming Caribbean Travel Marketplace, an event hosted by the Caribbean Hotels and Tourism Association in Antigua and Barbuda. Good morning, lady.
Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. Let me say it in general. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good to be here. Thank you.
Love the dress.
Very good. Thank
Love the dress. Vanessa, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for the invitation to join you today.
Oh, lovely. Nice seeing your face on Zoom until you get here. Now,
I would rather be with you enjoying one of the 365 beaches in Antigua, but I'll be doing that later in May.
You'll get that chance. Now, Patrice, let's talk about the value of hosting such event, because I'm seeing everybody, all the different partners in hotels, tourism coming right here to Antigua Barbuda. Let's talk about the value of that.
It's certainly a big deal for us as a destination. It's actually, for it to be in Antigua, it's the third time it's coming to this side of the Caribbean. This is a huge conference.
Wow.
And typically it's held in the larger islands, Jamaica, Bahamas, Puerto Rico. And this side of the Caribbean, it's been hosted in St. Lucia and in Barbados. And the level of exposure, I think, number one, would be one of the key benefits for us as a destination. Last year, the event was hosted in Jamaica, and there were 1,200 delegates converging in total on the destination. And Vanessa will explain a bit more what CHTA Marketplace really is, but it's a premier tourism event. So imagine all of the travel buyers coming in. Wow. We have our resorts, accommodation providers on display, in addition to those from across the Caribbean as well. Another 26 destinations could be coming into Antigua as well. So the sheer exposure for the destination is really one of the top benefits. And it's an opportunity as well to drive revenue. We're going to be having one-on-one conversations with persons that sell travel. It's an opportunity for accommodation providers here in Antigua to sell themselves. You know, this is what we offer. Not only do you speak to an accommodation provider, but when they come, they'll have an opportunity to experience the destination.
Seriously.
Right? We know in the month of May, it will be Restaurant Week, now termed Culinary Month. It's our time to show off. It's our time to really present the destination in its best format, which will ultimately result in higher occupancies, right? We want more bookings for the destinations going forward so we can continue to shatter those records as we did last year. And it's where we meet the decision makers. You know, these are the top brass professionals across all of travel. The general managers, the owners, all of the major decision makers will be here. Will be right here in Antigua. So it's an opportunity for us to do that and open to new destinations. As you know, in Antigua and Barbuda, our main source markets are the United States, the UK, Canada, Caribbean. So we have an opportunity now to really open to more travel buyers from across the world coming into Antigua and Barbuda. So lots of key benefits for us to really expose the destination in May.
Now, you said the last one, they had about 1,200 attendees. Yes. So what numbers are we looking for here in Antigua Barbuda?
Well, let's stick with the initial target of 1,200, but what's unique about the conference being held here in Antigua is that typically you don't see a big representation from the smaller islands, right? So for us, for Dominica, for St. Kitts, for Anguilla, for Montserrat, for our neighbors, we're actually going to be doing roadshows in those destinations because we want them to come.
Good.
It's here, it's in our backyard, and we want our partners around us, the smaller destinations as well as the other destinations who normally present themselves to Marketplace. So the potential is there for us to increase the numbers, but we really want to have that impact of getting as many partners as we can on board.
Now, let's go to Vanessa. Vanessa, good morning again. How are you doing? Now, we want to know what is CHTA Caribbean Marketplace and how important it is and the purpose of this event happening, especially here in Antigua and Barbuda.
Definitely. So Caribbean Travel Marketplace is the premier travel trade event for the region, hosted annually and consecutively for 43 years by the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association, the leading association representing the interest of the Caribbean hospitality and industry private sector. It serves as the most important platform for connecting regional and international tourism stakeholders, like Patrice mentioned. That includes destinations, hoteliers, accommodation providers, destination management companies, attractions, travel advisors, wholesalers, tour operators, and airlines. And beyond its commercial role, Marketplace is also an opportunity for CHTA to highlight our commitment to sustainable and responsible tourism, with pre and post marketplace activities such as the Responsible Tourism Day in its second edition, the Caribbean Travel Forum, and the newly announced Direct Booking Summit, contributing to a holistic approach, linking community engagement, business development, marketing strategies, and distribution. And I just want to expand a little bit more as it relates to the exposure. In addition to the delegates that will be joining the event as attendees, we also have about 50 media from key markets joining us to capture and share the Caribbean story, and also highlight and spotlight the destination, with the press coverage extending beyond the event for months and months to come.
Now, what should we expect here in Antigua Barbuda? Because you chose us, so we have to be prepared and ready for when you guys get here. So what are your expectations of us?
Well, we selected Antigua and Barbuda strategically due to its strong tourism growth, global and regional accessibility, and global visibility. We've been delighted so far with the esteemed arrangements locally from our partners at the Antigua and Barbuda Hotels and Tourist Association, a very forward-thinking and innovative association, and the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority. And we are delighted to be holding the event at the American University of Antigua, which has been a great addition in the Eastern Caribbean, cementing Antigua and Barbuda as an emerging top-tier meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions MICE destination. I had the opportunity of visiting Antigua last October in preparation for the event, and I am so excited about the plans that have been developed so far in terms of the social events and the opportunity for delegates to experience the destination, the ability of having Restaurant Week extended so that all of the delegates have an opportunity to experience the cuisine, and connecting with the local stakeholders. So we're definitely excited about the possibility, and sure that we will be returning to Antigua and Barbuda in the near future.
Listen, Patrice, I'm all excited about this, but as you mentioned about stakeholders, what about our local stakeholders' involvement, and what goes into preparing the venue for such a big event, man?
Well, let's talk about the transformation.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, so we have a team, a logistics team, an event management team that is really transforming the AUA Conference Center into this world-class showcase. And Vanessa, we're preparing for about 200, a set of about 240 booths. That was our instruction from Vanessa. So that means the transformation of the main building alone. We have seen our 3D presentations, our models already there, and how we want the interior to look. And we're also going to have exterior space as well. There are 3 fully built up air-conditioned tents that are going to be put on the exterior of AUA as well, to accommodate all of the booth and exhibition space that we need to ensure that we are accommodating all of the suppliers who will be coming into our destination. We'll also be creating a culinary pavilion, right? For the 2 days of the conference, headed by Chef Maureen Bowers, we are presenting, for the 2 days of conferences, they need to step in and taste a little bit of Wadadley and Wyoming, right? A little bit of Antigua and Barbuda. So we'll be creating, a culinary showcase for our delegates. And I want to take a moment to recognize the teams that have been put in place. One of the things that we did very early on was that we established committees, and it's been a humbling experience to work with this dynamic group of private and public sector partners that are all motivated to really see us execute this as a world-class event showcased right here in Antigua Barbuda. We have a marketing committee that's headed by Maria Blackman. We have an entertainment committee. Ibis, you're going to love this, because we have 2 days we need to entertain all the delegates who are coming to Antigua. We have an opening celebration on the 19th of May and a closing celebration on the 21st of May. And I've had the opportunity to experience those in other destinations, and I know we need to represent here in Antigua and Barbuda.
Okay.
Samoya Kirby leads that committee, yes. We also have, I mentioned, a culinary committee headed by Chef Maureen Bowers. I lead the accommodation committee. That's where we're finding accommodation providers for all of the delegates coming in. And I know we'll touch on that in a little bit. We have what's called a Responsible Tourism Day as well, headed by Vashti Ramsey Casimir. When the delegates come in, we want them to experience a little bit of Antigua and Barbuda. So we'll be taking them out on dedicated tours. They'll be doing a little bit of farming. They're going to go touch some racist snakes, right? That won't be me, that will be them. But we want our delegates coming in, and as Vanessa mentioned, very importantly, the 50 media, which means we have to tell very good stories about our destination. So we have responsible tourism. We have our buyer outreach, meaning all of the travel buyers who are coming in, how are we coordinating so they can come a little bit before the conference and stay a bit after. If we haven't noted, the conference is running May 18th to the 22nd. So we're focused on getting them in early, letting them stay a little longer to experience Antigua and Barbuda. Safety and security is important.
Yep.
Transportation as well. We're responsible for transporting the delegates to and from the conferences, to the opening ceremonies, and to some key events. And of course, logistics headed by Simone Richards. Transportation is headed by Unique Senhouse, and safety and security by Patrick Senhouse, buyer outreach by Sherry Osborne. And we are coordinating all of this with a project management company, Open Interactive. So it's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of hands. But we are doing this because we understand and respect what this means for the destination in terms of its showcase. So may seem a very long way away, but now we're kind of like gasping our breath. It's like tomorrow, the way the days are moving. But AUA and all the plans happening there, all of the team members that I just mentioned working to make sure that it's a success. And we're certainly looking forward to Vanessa, who didn't say she's coming in a couple of weeks. So we'll be able to see her sooner.
I expect to see her. That's right. She's talking about the 365 beaches, so I'm expecting to see her. Now,
Yes.
before I go back over to Vanessa, you mentioned about private and public sector getting involved.
Yeah.
Do we have to register to show some strength to be a part of this? Who do we call? How do we get involved with people?
Okay, so immediately, I represent, of course, the Antigua and Barbuda Hotels and Tourism Association. So immediately, we have our contacts within our membership. And it's not just accommodation providers, it's our tour operator companies, our DMCs, and so on, who would want to exhibit. So we have reached out to our initial contact. And we have a set of accommodation providers and members who can register to get their booth and become suppliers. However, we know that there are a collection of villas and guest houses across the destination that we don't necessarily have contact with. So if you are interested in presenting your accommodation for Caribbean Travel Marketplace, please call our office 462-0374 or 462-4928, or you can email marketing@antiguahotels.org, and our team will guide you from there. If you're interested in being an accommodation provider, if you're interested in being an exhibitor, meaning a supplier, so you're an accommodation provider, you're a car rental company, you're a DMC, you can also reach out to our office. Same contact information, we're able to guide you through the process.
Is there a flyer on your page or something like that with this? Because somehow I just know a lot of people who would like to get involved,
Yes.
especially with the supply part and just being there displaying Antigua and Barbuda. I just know. So I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna give them that number to call. So something need to happen. Now, Vanessa, before we let you go, I know you're preparing yourself. You're doing your shopping at the mall, getting ready for Antigua Barbuda, getting your bathing suit and everything. What comes next after the event? That is so important. And why is it? What is the next initiative support for the Caribbean, especially Antigua Barbuda?
So let me share just that in two ways, right? Immediately after the event, the impact of Caribbean Travel Marketplace is not only economic, but it also contributes to global market access after the event, which destinations and tour operators developing tour packages and marketing campaigns, increased visitor arrivals because of the buyers that are experiencing the destination and have had the opportunity of negotiating activities and programs and marketing campaigns, and of course, the media exposure. From a CHTA perspective, of course, we continue to working on initiatives that sustain and expand the region's tourism success. capacity building, and digital transformation with programs that support local businesses in optimizing direct bookings, embracing AI, and strengthening their presence in the international markets. And of course, sustainability and community impact, as Patrice mentioned, the Responsible Tourism Day initiatives will leave a lasting impact on the host community, but also overall, as we will strengthen the linkages with other segments. And I do want to mention as well that we are launching the first linkages showcase, which is an exciting expansion of the event designed to deepen the integration between tourism and other key sectors of the Caribbean economy. And this will be just the first initiative of our linkages task force, which will be expanding to other activities to strengthen that connect between the various industries.
And let me tell you, Patrice, finally, let's just give the folks an overview on the important dates and what is happening in May right here in Antigua Barbuda and how they can get involved.
Absolutely. So May 18 to the 22nd, 2025, Antigua and Barbuda will be hosting the CHTA Caribbean Travel Marketplace. It's the 43rd time this event is being hosted, and it's going to be right here in Antigua and Barbuda. If you are an accommodation provider and you'd like to present your accommodation as for the delegates coming in, you can contact our office at 462-0374 or 4928. If you'd like to exhibit at Caribbean Travel Marketplace as well, our office will be able to guide you through that process. I want to make a quick note. We do have a lot of accommodation providers in the villas and guest houses sector. There is a new feature this year called a Direct Booking Summit, meaning that how do I get bookings for myself digitally, through my website, through social media. So there's going to be an entire session within this marketplace dedicated to how, if you ever thought, oh gosh, I need to tap in on that Airbnb sector, I'm going to have a room or 2 rooms. How do you make sure that you get that accommodation filled at all times? So there's a segment specifically for you as well. So lots of opportunities. Please follow us at Antigua Hotels and Antigua Hotel Jobs for more information.
Let me tell you, if February didn't match, we know April, May. That's how it is. Vanessa, thank you. I'll see you shortly because I know you're ready for all this and all the excitement. I can hear it in your voice. And Patrice, listen, I am ready. I feel like we just want to build on Airbnb tomorrow and just have it prepared and put it on the market. What do you say about that, Vanessa?
Thank you so much. I'm delighted and exciting, counting the days to be in Antigua and Barbuda, the land of the 365 beaches, and enjoying everything that the destination is putting together for our delegates that are coming from all over the world. Thank you so much.
All right, have a good one. Patrice, boy, she needs some food, you know, looking at the boy.
Yes, and some black pineapple. We get it all sorted. All sorted.
Folks, listen, stay with us. We've got more coming up. As you can hear, I'm so excited over this because what? We have a chance to showcase Antigua and Barbuda, and it works when all of us work together. We'll be right back.